Hello everyone, I'm coming to you with blue lips and a blue sweater, and I just filmed my Roshi Crested Gecko video, which I think I'll probably put up before this one. Hi JJ. My dog is sitting next to me. And I'm invisible. Fantastic. So the reason I'm wearing this blue sweater and this ill-matching blue lip, I definitely thought this would be more blue than it is like a blue-black, but I'm sorry, okay? I'm not perfect. So this is Rago merch. So this was made by the incredible Scaly Gems, also Starry Page Art on Instagram. I'll include her links below. It comes in pastels, it comes in whites, it comes in dark blues and dark colors, it comes in bright colors, all the good stuff. So if you are interested in supporting me and Rago and the other animals here, I thank you in advance. Please check it out, links below. With that said, let's go ahead and get into today's video, which I'm very, very excited about because I've never been so... I don't want to spoil it because I'm going to review the cage later, but in general, I've never been happier with a cage setup than I have been with this one, but I'll get into that later. For the format of this video, I really want to do a tour and then I would like to do a review. So the tour is going to be like relatively long. I'm going to say where everything came from, why I put it in the cage, and then I'm also going to show footage of my rats enjoying the cage over like the first week. And then the later part of the video is going to be me with my blue lips returning to talk about like the review. What works, what doesn't work, what I like, what I don't like. I wanted to give it time to have a review and to have the rats get used to it and have a lot of footage of them interacting with the enclosure so that I could give like a proper tour of this instead of just like, oh, here's my standard cage but a different theme. This is quite different from any rat cage I've done before. I also want to give credit to Emiology and Ratity on Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter because their different elements of their care and their cages has inspired mine, so of course I want to give credit where credit is due. Oh, and one more thing. In some of the earlier clips of when they're first exploring their cage, Remy does have a scratch on his side that's like almost healed. He scratched it on a ladder. So like there was a wood ladder in the cage and they chewed through one of the rungs and I didn't see because it was buried, so he must have like scratched himself on that. Literally the moment I noticed I took it out, but he was already scratched. It was a very minor scratch. It healed up very quickly, but if you do see a mark on his side, that's why. Remy is a Rex coat and he is slowly losing his hair over time, so it's even thinner than it was in the past. So he gets kind of nicked easy if like he scratches himself on something, but he gets over it really fast. And then his brother Finn is the one that has like the standard coat. So Remy and Finn are my two rat boys and I love them to bits. They're gonna be 2 in December. Like, time has flown by, but like I'm just really happy to have them for as long as I have them for, and I'm really happy to be able to give them this like really interesting, really fun cage. So I'm gonna go ahead and start out with the tour and then I'll see you guys back for the review. So it's been a few days since the rats have been introduced to their naturalistic, or they're just in general new cage theme. I call it naturalistic because it has a lot of natural themes, including wood, cork bark, bedding materials like dirt. This is not like a bioactive by any means, and this obviously has plenty of fake or like plastic and fabric elements as well, but that's why I call it naturalistic, because it's kind of somewhere in the middle between like what a wild setup would look like for a rat and then what a more I don't know, modern or cozy setup would look like for a rat. So anyways, I hope that makes sense. I want to start with the top portion of the cage, and right now you can see Remy hanging out on his cork bark. So I actually took a piece of cork bark that I just ordered from Petco and I inspected it and I cleaned it like I do with all my cork bark. But basically what just means I took a dry toothbrush and I got in all the nooks and crannies and made sure that if there was any dusties or if there was any loose pieces or if there was any like cobwebs, that I scrubbed them all out. So that is that piece down there. I'll give you a closer look at it in a minute, but it's hung with twine and it does a little bit of a swing, which I thought was kind of fun. So that's why that's there. And that's one of the natural elements of the enclosure is cork. Look, you can see Remy. Excuse me, do you have more food? Then let's just start at the top. I just showed off the swing for a second because Remy was on it. So in the very top we have a little foraging ball. It has a skewer kebab on top, and then it has like the ball element where like the food is. They don't use it, they don't like it so far, but I'm gonna keep trying. They like their foraging wheel, which is down here, but they do not like the ball. It's a bird toy I got from Petco. Right now, Remy is in that Crinkle Tunnel down there. That's why it's so loud. I mean, Finn's in the Crinkle Tunnel, and Remy's in this little dirt box, which I'll get to, of course. But anyways, back to the top. So, this is a foraging ball. This is a little, I'm not sure what they're called, but like that comes in natural and it comes in like a colored one. It's basically just like wood logs that are put on this bendable wire, and so you can bend it to whatever shape you want. Maybe it's called a bendy bridge, I don't know. But I got that from Petco or PetSmart, I can't remember which one. I've had it for a long time. But I just used it because I had it and I figured I'll just make like a little assist if they wanted to get closer to the foraging ball, but nope, they really don't care about the foraging ball at all. And then behind that is a piece of wood that's attached to like a little clip or a little hook. It's actually a bird perch. I have 4 of them in this enclosure and I got them from Petco. Behind that is a hamster ball, and the hamster ball is hanging with a clip, and basically it's just literally a hamster ball with a little bit of fleece in it, and Remy absolutely loves it. He sleeps in it all the time. He'll take the fleece out and sleep in it plain. I don't know why, but sometimes I just shove fleece back in there because I think maybe one day he'll sleep with it in there. Maybe he'll just keep having fun by taking it out. Who knows? And then there's a regular shelf here. This is a double criternation. I should have mentioned that earlier. It's a double criternation with the middle shelf popped out, and then I just have the 2 half shelves and the bottom shelf, but we'll get to that later. But this is just one of the half shelves, and it's covered with a towel and then a fleece blanket, because if you only use fleece, all of that liquid's gonna sink through and it's not gonna be absorbed, so you have to use a towel underneath. Above that half shelf is a bird toy thing. It's like a bunch of pieces of wood and a bell. Again, that kind of goes with the natural element, and it's another bird toy. There's tons of bird toys in here. But the rats sometimes chew on that. Sometimes I'll put a little bit of pumpkin puree on it and they chew on it. And then above that is a little rope hammock, and then behind that is a bird rope. It's size large from Petco. The rats use it all the time, which is why I got a second one, which is right down here. This is a basket I got from the dollar store. It has a little bit of fleece in it, and I just hung it up there because it's another little fun area to hang out for them. And then there are a multiple of these like little perches. I don't know if they were from the like rodent section or the bird section, but they're from Petco. They were like $5 each, and again, they go with that natural element because they're wood, but also a lot of these like bird perches and then these perches over here and the bridges allow the rats to really have to use like muscle and balance and really get to climb and be enriched in that way. So that's why I have a lot of perches and a lot of ladders to help them get around the cage instead of just like a singular like regular ladder like you would see in some of my older designs. There's a water bottle back here. There's also 2 water bottles which you won't see because they're on the doors and the doors are open. And then there is this Crinkle Tunnel back here, which if I can tell you to get anything for your rats or your ferrets or even your birds, it's a Crinkle Tunnel. Remy and Finn love these Crinkle Tunnels. I don't know if it's just because they're tunnel shaped or if because they crinkle or because both, but they love them, so I have 2 of them in this cage. I got the Crinkle Tunnel from Petco, and it was like, I don't know, it was pretty cheap, honestly. And then we have a matching hammock down here. It is not crinkle, but it matches, so I was like, why not? It matches the cool jungly fern pattern, and also that looks more naturalistic and matches all the green, so I figured I'd get it. Behind this hammock is another little like wood toy, although I don't know if this one was for a bird or for a rodent, but again, Petco. There's another bird ledge down here. I ordered 4 of them, and I had 2 in the past and then 2 recently. All of them look more like this, except this one, which came out like really skinny and weird, so I put it in the back because I think it's kind of ugly. And then here is the bottom portion of the enclosure, and again, I'll take you in for a closer look of everything once I'm done giving the overview. Right now you can see Remy is inside of this little dirt box. I think, wait a minute, is that Finn? Oh, it's Finn! That's my first time seeing him in there. Well, yeah, Finn's in there right now. Remy is somewhere, I can't see him right now. But yeah, Finn is in that box. Anyways, so I'll start from the top with this one, just as like a continuation from the top of the cage. So over here they have this giant green igloo, which they absolutely love. This is their favorite place to sleep. That, and oh, I forgot to mention, up here, this like little green basket, I just cut a hole in the front and they sleep in that too. So the igloo and the little like lime green basket are their favorite places to sleep. So the igloo is like a giant size. It was like advertised for guinea pigs and rabbits, and I got it from the pet store. I can't remember if it was Petco or PetSmart. It was somewhere, one of those two, I'm sure. Here's another one of those fern hammocks and the fern Crinkle Tunnel, again from Petco. Here's some more bird perches, again from Petco. And then that cork bark swing, cork bark swing. Again, as I said, the cork bark itself is from Petco. And then I used twine to tie it up. I'll show you a closer look of that in a little bit. In the very back, we have this, like, I think it's by the brand Ware, and I got it from Petco. And it's just like a Timothy hay hut. It's pretty big. But I just wanted like some sort of hide on the bottom floor where all the substrate was that they could also like chew up and engage with that way. And it also contributed to the natural theme. We also have some hanging, I'm not sure what these are called, but they're from the rodent section. They're just like little balls of, I don't know what that is. I'm like drawing a blank, but it's for them to chew on. And they've destroyed them in the past, so I got them some more. And here's another little toy over here. It's like a little rolling pin type of thing, and it has like a ball in the middle. It was like $2, but I got it because I like to give them pumpkin, like a little bit of pumpkin puree on things, because then they really have to try and dig it out because it'll get stuck in between the bars and on the ball in the middle. I used a knot nibbler for it last time, but it got completely destroyed, so I had to get something different. Again, on this half level, there's a towel and some fleece. There's also some like scrap fleece thrown around the enclosure, and especially like down here because they like to throw it in their house or in the corner so they can nest and whatnot. And then they also have a ladder that comes down onto this floor because they're still getting used to how to like access this enclosure. I was hoping they would just jump from here to here, but they just haven't done that. And in fact, they wouldn't even come down here until I put the ladder in yesterday. But once I put the ladder in, they've been down here a lot. So hopefully eventually they'll get to the point where like they don't need that ladder and they can just jump around the cage. But it is kind of difficult for them because they can't use the bars up to here because there's acrylic there. So why is there acrylic? The acrylic is there to hold in all of the substrate. I originally bought a bin that was like pretty similar in measurement to the bottom of the enclosure, but it wasn't big enough, and I couldn't find one that was big enough. So I was like, we're gonna have to get crafty. So what I did was I found some extra acrylic. Well, I mean, I have a ton of extra acrylic from building the gecko bookshelves, but I took, oh, I can see Remy, he's like nesting right now. I took the extra acrylic and I picked pieces that were tall enough and long enough to create this bottom portion. Now, if you notice, there's some ugly tape. I couldn't find something to hold the pieces together that was strong enough except for the aluminum foil tape. It's on the outside, it just is ugly. So, oh well, they don't really seem to care, and they can't access it because it's on the outside, so it is what it is. Oh look, you can see him. He's got the giant paper right now. I don't want this in my house. And Remy's down here nesting right now. You can see him kind of moving around. So the substrate is a mix of some KT natural colored paper bedding, because I already had a bunch of that from their old enclosure, and I wanted to add some of the new one from the bag I still had, and I also wanted to add some so that it would smell like their old enclosure. So I did a little bit of that and a little bit of a new bag as well. And then I also used some aspen bedding, and I created a mix on the bottom, and there's quite a bit of substrate. So here, let me show you how much substrate there is. So it's quite a bit, and I'll add more as time goes on too, especially as they get used to it. But then they have a box right here, and that box has some Eco Earth and some aspen in it mixed up. There's a little ladder in there right now just so that I could help them get used to getting inside of it, but again, that ladder is probably going to come out in the next day or so once they're like fully used to it. Like I said, I saw Finn for the first time in it just now while recording this. So once I see them both and they're more comfortable with it, that ladder won't need to be in there because they'll be able to jump out. But it is nice to have that in there as a transitional, you know, to help them realize like, okay, it's safe to jump in here, it's safe to come out. One more thing on this bottom level is this like really messed up weird tunnel thing right here. So basically what it is the container that their oats were in, and I just cut out the bottom and took off the top, and then it was, you know, just like a round tunnel. So I took some paper and I just wrapped it around, and then I shoved some more paper inside, and now it is this like lovely little crinkle tunnel that they have absolutely enjoyed. So something that I do down here on the lower level where all the substrate is I take their food and some oats, and sometimes I'll chop up the nuts really fine and do this as well. But I like drizzle them or sprinkle them in the bottom of the substrate in both this box and then the regular substrate, and then I mix it up, and then they have to forage for the little goodies. And Remy is like top notch at foraging. Like as soon as I put anything in there, he goes to work, especially in this box, and it's really, really cute. It's an absolute joy to watch. So let me go ahead and take you in for a closer look of everything. Are you nomming right now, little guy? Are you nomming? So here is this bendy bridge, this foraging ball, which has some of these veggies from yesterday I need to take off. See, they haven't touched any of them. Sadness. And then this is the hanging ball that Remy likes to sleep in. This is a bird perch. I keep hitting this stupid bell. This is a bird perch. And then the little like box that I cut a hole out of, and Finn actually was sleeping in there this morning. Wasn't he? Wasn't your brother sleeping in there this morning? Yes. Oh, I have like a bunch of these apple orchard sticks lying around as well. What, you want to see the camera? Don't bite it. Come on now. Come on now. Bless you. And then there's some of the apple orchard sticks. The giant bird toy that's hanging. Then we got a rope bridge. Another rope bridge down here. What do you want? More food, please? You gotta go work for it. And then the rope bridge, which actually came from Amazon, I forgot to mention. This is the basket from the dollar store. We got a water bottle back here. Crinkle Tunnel. Step, step, step. Then their foraging wheel, which has some of their oxbow regal rat in it. Another ledge. Toy that hangs. Not sure if it's bird or rodent, but it came from Petco. And then we have a hammock, another bird ledge, another ledge. I think I already pointed that one out. And then another bird ledge, another bird ledge. Then my swing. Look, see, it swings. And I know they've been on it because I keep putting snacks on it, and because I've seen them on it. I was afraid they weren't going to use it because it swings and it might make them uneasy. But basically, it is a bunch of twine wrapped around here to keep it in place. There's only one twine that's hanging onto here, but it's wrapped around here a bunch. They'd really have to go through it to knock it down. But if they do, it's not going to hurt anybody. It's going to fall right on here. And then they have their igloo down here, which Finn is in right now. Foraging wheel, like I said, which I got off of Amazon. It's actually for birds. A lot of this stuff is for birds, but you can use it for rats as well. And then their little toy that I like to put pumpkin on, which I haven't put pumpkin on yet. As you can see, it's been a few days and I've already put a little bit of work into it, and it's already started to turn yellow because of the pumpkin. And then, hi baby, you wanna come say hi? Yeah, you're my shy boy compared to Remy. Come here, come say hi to the camera. Come on. Come here. Oh, aren't you just an angel? Come here. I know. If I put a little bit of pumpkin on this thing, I know you'll come out. Where's that plate? Let me give you some pumpkin. See, here, a little bit of pumpkin. Yeah, there you are. Not so shy anymore, huh? No, not so shy anymore. You're so cute. Is that yummy? Where's your brother? I don't want him to miss out on it. So Remy has been like really digging around in here, and he's been messing with the crinkle tunnel, and he pulled the paper all the way up into his igloo and has started nesting with it. Good job, buddy. And I have clips of him in here as well. He's really enjoying it down here, and I'm so happy he is. Look at all the little carrots, little carrot noms. Yum yum. He's created a wall, so the entirety of this is covered in eco earth, like, and aspen. He built it all the way up the side. See it? That's what he's doing right now. He's like grabbing little bits of food, and then he'll grab whatever bedding and dirt he can get, and then he shoves it up there with his hands. It's so cute. It's kind of dark in here. Look what they've done. They already destroyed this. Hello, babies. Good morning. Good morning. Hello, how you doing? Like, they completely took off the crinkle on the Crinkle Tunnel too. Hello, babies. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Is the camera? Hey, don't bite it. Go on, you can do it. I think he's afraid of like stepping on his brother. Bless you. He's like, let me find another way in. Here I go. Excuse me, brother. Y'all are so cute. coming out, buddy? Did you have enough snacks? How come you come out so clean, but then when your brother comes out, he's covered in dirt? Is he just messier than you? He is a wild child. Huh. Oop, don't fall. So, time for the review. What works, what doesn't work, what do I like, what don't I like? In short, I don't dislike anything. Like, this has been one of the best cage designs I've ever had. Actually, no, it is the best cage design I've ever had. And the only thing that, like, the rats don't seem to care for was that foraging ball that was up top. Like, they never touched it. No matter what I put in it, they didn't want it. I think they'd rather forage in the ground for stuff or use their foraging wheel, which is what their regular, like, rat food is in. But they never touched that foraging ball, which is annoying because it was like $13. So maybe eventually I'll find a use for it, but they don't use the ball part. They don't use the little, like, kebab skewer. They won't touch it at all. So I tried putting it in 2 different parts of the cage. Didn't matter. They never touched it. So the 2 areas that I think I'm most surprised with are the floor of the enclosure and the swing. So, like, the swing that is the, like, cork bark with the twine, like, they're not afraid of it at all. I thought they were going to be more apprehensive about it. Okay, I'm losing my voice. What the heck? So the swing, the cork bark swing, I could have swore that they were never going to touch because of the wavy or the swinging movement. But I put, like, a little snack up there and they're right up there, like, no problem. And it'll swing and Remy's just, like, munching around, doesn't even care, sitting right on top of it. Surprised me. And then secondly, I'm very surprised by the Eco-Earth box. So, like, I knew they would enjoy more substrate on the floor because I had, like, boxes of substrate in their enclosure before, and Remy liked to dig in there. Finn is a little bit more reserved when it comes to that, but he's actually shown a lot more interest in doing that with the whole floor being bedding. But Remy has always been one that liked digging in substrate, and oh my gosh, like, having the dig box and the entire bottom be aspen and the paper bedding mixed, like, they're obsessed, especially with the dig box. So as you saw, the dig box is just like a Tupperware container, not Tupperware, like a plastic tote with a hole cut in the lid, and then like Eco-Earth mixed with aspen. The Eco-Earth is not completely dry either. It's like a tiny bit moist just to kind of like keep down some of that dustiness, but I've noticed that it, when mixed with the aspen, like, it helps keep down that dustiness as well. But anyways, I have it in there. I haven't noticed any weird smells. I haven't noticed them going to the bathroom in it. Basically they just go in it and they dig for food. Like, they're obsessed. Like, Remy loves that dig box. Finn I've seen in there too, as you guys saw in the clips, but Remy is obsessed with it. Like, he loves it. Overall, I'm like 100% satisfied with this layout and with their reaction to it. I'm really happy that I made the changes to their care and their enclosure in order to facilitate these behaviors. If you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please leave them down below so I can address them. If I forgot to address them in this video, I apologize. If you're interested in seeing more rat videos, which I don't do frequently, but if you'd like to see more, please let me know. Click the notification bell and the subscribe button. That way you'll be notified of when I post new videos about rats or just in general. If you're interested in Rago merch, or rat merch, actually, I have rat merch from Christmas that is still up because I was like, it's so cute, I don't want to take it down, so I still have it for sale in case anybody ever wants it. But it's Remy and Finn sharing a Christmas cookie, which is just too cute for words. If you're interested in social media, anything like that, all the links are down below. And with that said, I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!